So by clicking on the new registration module, a pop-up will be received with the name new patient registration using national health ID. So we can register patient in the OPD using the national health ID. We can fetch the demographic details of the patient by using the national health ID from the ABDM ecosystem. So in this we have few options to fetch the details. First is e-hospital search. So we can search the patient by using a health ID number, or UHID or mobile number. So let me search with a health ID. RM Rahul 9560 is health ID. After that we have to use @NDHA. After that we can click on the search button. After clicking on the search button, we will get the patient details information, patient UHID, patient health ID number, patient name, department, clinic, visit type, and visit date. So if patient is already registered, so next time we can go for the revisit. So in the action column, we have a radio button. By clicking on this radio button, a pop-up will be received. Do you want to revisit? So we can go for the revisit by clicking on the OK button. So we can see the all details: EHID, national health ID number, billing type, mobile number, last visit date, patient name, age, gender, son of, and address. In the bottom, for the revisit, we can select the department and we can select the clinic. By selecting the department, the configured rooms and clinics will be appear. So by selecting the rooms, the color become green, and by clicking on the save button, a pop-up will be received with a few details like department, rooms, and by clicking on the OK button, a revisit slip will be generated. On this revisit slip, we can see UHID, unique health identification, which is unique in the hospital, EHRID, which is unique within the instance. Also, patient will get a token number, consulting room number where patient will visit, clinic, and last visit date. And all the demographic details of the patient we can see. Also, uh, if we are revisiting patient using the national health ID, in this case, a QR code also will be printed on the slip. We can also see the health ID and health ID number in this slip. So we have 5 different types of registration slip. According to the requirement of the hospital, they can use it in the by configuring it in the admin part. Next is health QR scan. So if patient is coming with the health ID card in the hospital counter, so the counter person can scan the QR code that is printed on the health ID card, and by scanning the QR code, the demographic details of the patient will be fetched. After that, they can go for the registration. Next option is health ID validation. We can fetch the demographic details by using the health ID or health ID number. So this is the health ID, and we can use the @NDHM. After entering the health ID, and we can click on this consent checkbox, exclusive consent for sharing health record using the NDHM ecosystem. After that, search button will be enabled. By clicking on the search button, the patient details will be appear like UHID, health ID number, patient name, department, clinic, and visit date. So
percent is already registered. Otherwise, they will get an Aadhaar or mobile OTP button. रजिस्टर तो आगे रजिस्टर नहीं तो क्या आता मोबाइल OTP तो वो बताओ वो कौन बताएगा
so if patient is new, if the patient, the counter person is using first time health ID, in this case, after entering the health ID now, uh, two buttons will be appear. One is mobile OTP and second is Aadhaar OTP. So I have already used this health ID. That's why the details is visit details is coming. So now I can go for the revisit by clicking on this radio button. Next option is shared profile. So if patient have the smartphone and Android Abha application is installed in his phone, so that the patient can share his details with the counter person by scanning the QR code that is printed on the hospital counter window. So counter person can select the counter, and by clicking on the search button, so whatever patient has shared details with this counter one will be appear. So by clicking on this radio button, all the visit details will be appear. We can go for the revisit by clicking on this radio button. So this is the process of health ID. We can fetch the demographic details of the patient and we can register the patient. How we can revisit the patient by using health ID. How patient can share the profile. In the case of shared profile, there is no need of OTP. Next is new registration. So now how we can register patient in OPD manually. So for the registration, we have two templates available. One is NDMC and second is RRR. In both template, little bit difference in fields. So according to the requirement of the hospital, they can configure it. In the case of MLC, medical legal case, they can enable this checkbox. After clicking on this checkbox, one field will be added. So now they can enter the MLC number. Also, if patient is a referred patient, so we can select this checkbox, add referred patient, and they can capture the referred patient information also if needed. Add COVID patient checkbox is automatically selected if counter person wants to capture the COVID-19 details so that they can capture it, or if not needed, they can disable it. So counter person can capture the details of the patient. You can select the initials, first name, last name, date of birth, guardian name, address. Line 1 is mandatory. If present address and permanent address is similar, so we can click on this checkbox. Billing type is mandatory, so we have to select the billing type. Whatever billing type we have mapped with the user, that billing type will be reflected in this drop down. By default, general will be selected, and the counter person will be able to change the billing type. We can take the mobile number to the patient. In the bottom, we can select the department where patient will visit. By selecting the room, color become green. By clicking on the save button, by clicking on the OK button, OPD slip will be generated with the unique health identification number, token number, consulting room number where patient will visit to see the doctors, clinic, and days, and all demographic details that we have captured. We can also configure the price rate for the registration if needed. So as of now, for the first time registration, I have configured 20 rupees. Accordingly, with this slip, they can visit to see the doctors. Now this is the process of new registration if patient is coming first time in the hospital. So we can register patient by this process. Next is search. If patient is coming after 1 month or 2 months or 1 year, so we don't need to register patient again in the hospital. So we have some search criteria available. So we can search the patient by using UHID, HRID, by scheme, by mobile number, by date range. Mostly we are using the UHID to search the patient. So a national health ID number, as of now it is showing blank. So we can link the health ID with the visit. So if patient is coming after 1 month or 2 months, so we can go for the revisit. So first link is revisit. In the action column, we have a select button. Under select button, we have some options like revisit. So by clicking on the revisit, we can go for the revisit. So all the details will be available. Now we can select the department, and we can click on the rooms, configure rooms, clicking on the save button. patient will be revisited. So we can see the UHID, token number. Also on this slip, revisit is marked. This is the process of revisit. So if patient is coming after 1 month or 2 month or 3 month, so we don't need to require to register patient again in the hospital. We can go for the revisit. Also, we can take the duplicate registration slip. We can print the barcode, and we can link the health ID with the visit. So for this, the details will be, it is mandatory to details will be same as we have mentioned in the uh, health ID card. So details will be same. If details is not matched, then we cannot link health with the health ID. So the name, the age, and the mobile number. If these details is matched with the health ID details, after that we can link. Without, so let me show you how we can link the health ID. Let me do a registration. Address. After that, we can click on the department. We can select the department. Now I can link health ID with this visit. So to visit the health ID with this visit, we can click on the create or link health ID. So it is showing please update your mobile number for linking health ID. So I have not updated mobile number. It is mandatory to update every details. After that, we can go for the link with the health ID. Let me update the details. So now I can link the this visit with the health ID. So also in this page, we can also go for the new health ID. If counter person wants to create a new health ID, they can click on the create health ID, or they can go for the link health ID with this visit. So here we have to enter the health ID of the patient. And by clicking on the search, by clicking on the mobile OTP, one OTP will received on the patient registered mobile number. I think there is some issue from NDHM site. I'm unable to receive OTP. So after entering OTP, we can click on the verify OTP. After that, we can link the visit with the health ID. Next, moving into the casualty part. In the casualty registration, we can register a casualty patient. Also, only single department we can mark as a casualty department. If patient is brought by other person or any police person or any PCR, if patient is unidentified, if patient is unknown, then we can select yes. So all the fields become unknown. Only in this case we can capture the date of birth by assuming the patient, and we can also capture the details or brought by. If brought by police, then also we can capture the details like name or anything. Also, if patient is brought by dead, so we can select yes or no, and we can select the department by selecting the rooms by clicking on the save button. A casualty slip will be generated. Also in this slip, ER record is marked emergency record. So if you have any query or any doubts in this entire process of OPD registration, revisit, casualty registration, or any doubt in health ID, you can ask.
Okay, now. Here,
So we have completed the registration part. Sir, can you please confirm if a doctor is available so we can move to the clinic part, or if doctor is not available so we can move to other module like lab or pharmacy.
Hello? రిజిస్ట్రేషన్ మాడ్యూల్ ఓపీడీ పార్ట్ అయిపోయిందండి. ఇప్పుడు క్లినికల్ పార్ట్కి వెళ్తున్నారు. డాక్టర్స్ ఎవరైనా ఉన్నారా? ఎవరైనా రెస్పాండ్ అవ్వండి.
అనంతపురం జిటిఎస్ సార్. ఇక్కడ డాక్టర్స్ లేదు సార్, ఫార్మసిస్టులు, రేడియాలజీ డిపార్ట్మెంట్, ల్యాబ్ టెక్నీషియన్స్ ఉన్నారు సార్.
ఓకే, ఎక్కడైనా డాక్టర్స్ ఎవరైనా ఉన్నారండి? ఎక్కడైనా వేరే ప్లేస్లో? హలో
Sir, I think doctors are not available. I think
most of them are pharmacists and lab technicians, Rahul, radiologists.
Yes,
You can continue
okay.
with that part.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. So let me start with the lab module first. So by clicking on this lab module, it will be open in the separate tab. In the lab, first link is sample collection. So first, the lab technician can select the collection center, and by clicking on the continue with selected, here The technician can enter the UHID of the patient. So in lab, service will be prescribed by two ways. One is a doctor can prescribe in the clinic. The prescribed services will automatically come in the sample collection by entering the UHID. So this is the one process. And second process is the lab technician can also prescribe the services. So by entering the UHID and by clicking on the go button, now the patient details is coming. Now we can click on the add new investigation. Now from this page, the technician can order the service. All the configured services and category will be reflected by clicking on this green arrow button. Now we can see the details, the order services, and by clicking on this verify observation or medicine, can enter the remarks or comment if needed. And by clicking on the save button, the services will be saved. Whatever service we have ordered, that will be saved. We can take the barcode printout. We can also print the requisition slip in the consolidated form also. You can see the lab sub center name. As of now, it is showing collection pending. If a patient will pay for this particular services, so in place of collection pending, a receipt number will be available. So now patient can give the samples, and now the technician can collect the samples by clicking on the select all. Also they can capture the specimen site. It is not mandatory. By clicking on the save button, they can collect the samples. They can print the barcode. That barcode will be stick on the samples bottles, so that samples will be uniquely identified. You can see the patient UHID, sample number, patient name, age, and whatever service we have ordered. Also, acknowledgement slip. Also, they can take. We can see the all details of the patient, sample collection center, sample collection date, collected by, sample number, and with the services. Now next is sample quality status. So in this we can select the biochemistry lab and we can enter the UHID. So by using this link, the technician can check the quality of the samples. Also, they have the rights, they can reject if there is any quality related issue like quality not good, sample damaged or less volume or clotted or any leakage. So they can reject it. There is no, after rejection, there is no need to order service again. Only the patient can give the samples again. If sample is okay, then we can select the okay, and we need to enter one reference number, and by clicking on the save, we can enter the remarks if needed. And by clicking on the save button, the details will be saved. Now next is observation entry. So we can select find the patient by lab sub-center wise, lab wise, periodic date or UHID. By using UHID, we can search the patient. Now by clicking on the sample number hyperlink, now we can go for the observation entry. So we can see already we have already created a template for this particular services. So we can also go with the template based entry, and we can also go with the without template based entry. By clicking on the save button, observation saved successfully. If needed, we can discard the report. Next is observation verification. By entering the UHID, by clicking on the go button, we can see the sample number. By clicking on it, so we can see the observation is highlighting because we have entered the normal range beyond the limit. We can enter the verification comment if needed. We can also mark for the review for the specific service. If you are doing test multiple time for the specific service, then we can mark for review, and we can update the result multiple time. So by clicking on the verify, now we can print the report. We can see the result that we have entered beyond the limit is coming in the red color. It is highlighting verified by whatever comments we have entered. It will be visible in this report. Review verified lab reports. So multiple times we can change the result. So by clicking on the update multiple times we can change the result. Once we will click on this review button, so that the result will be final. So this is the entire process of lab. If any issue or any query, if with any participants, they can ask.
లాబొరేటరీ మాడ్యూల్ ఏమన్నా డౌట్స్ ఉంటే అడగండి. ఏమన్నా ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ మీకు ఏమన్నా ఉంటే అడగండి. డౌట్స్ కానీ ఏమన్నా. హలో, ఏమన్నా డౌట్స్ ఉంటే మీరు అడగచ్చండి. ఓకే రాహుల్, కంటిన్యూ రాహుల్. తుని, మీకు ఏమైనా డౌట్స్ ఉన్నాయండి?
4167 98.
మార్కాపూర్, ఏమైనా డౌట్స్ ఉన్నాయండి?
సార్ ఇక్కడ రేడియాలజీ స్టాఫ్ ఎక్కువ ఉన్నారు సార్. రేడియాలజీ ఎంట్రీ అంటే ఒకటి చూపించండి సార్.
రేడియాలజీ, ఓకే. Rahul?
Sir.
Actually, from Anantapur, from radiology department, so many people came. They are asking to show that radiology module.
Screen clarity, yes. Screen clarity.
Vijayawada?
Vijayawada.
చెప్పండి.
స్క్రీన్ క్లారిటీ లేదు సార్. స్క్రీన్ అసలు కనిపించట్లేదు.
డౌట్స్ ఏమడుగుతారు?
స్క్రీన్ ఇక్కడ బాగా ఉంది కదండి. మీకు మార్నింగ్ ఆఫ్టర్నూన్ చెక్ చేశారు కదా, కాలేదా ఇంకా? మొబైల్ డేటాతో చెక్ చేశారు కదా ఆఫ్టర్నూన్? Hello, Rahul.
Yes, sir.
They are asking for radiology module, Rahul.
Okay, sir. So let me start with the radiology. So by clicking on this radiology information system module, It will be open in the separate tab. In the radiology information system, first link is scheduling. So by using scheduling, we can schedule the appointment by entering the UHID of the patient. By clicking on the search, the patient details will be appear. So as we have done in the lab, similarly we can do in the radiology. We have a add new investigation link. By clicking on this link, now from here we can select the category, whatever category and services we have added for the radiology in the master data, that will be available here. By selecting the category, and in this category whatever service we have added will be reflect. So we can select the service, and by clicking on the place order, now we can select the recommended by, and by clicking on the verify observation, we can see the doctor name and the contact number, and if needed we can enter the comments, and by clicking on the save button, here it is showing collection pending. So if we pay for this service, so in place of collection pending, it will a receipt number will be available. So from in this page we can select the body part name, and we can click on the add for appointment. You can see the all details, service and room number. We can capture the diagnosis. And we can select the reporting date. We can appoint for another day. We can select the time, reporting time. And by clicking on the confirm button, the appointment will be fixed. So we can see saved successfully. Scheduled date is 16th March 2022 with this receipt number 17/2022. We can print the receipt. Also we can print the barcode. So on this barcode we can see the receipt number. Now next is image capture and confirmation. So by using this link we can confirm the appointment by clicking on this green button. So now we can see the test is confirmed. Next is observation entry. By clicking on this green button, we can create the report. Also for this particular service, we can create the template. So as I have already created the template, we can use it. So all the templates, created templates will be available in this drop down. We can select the report prepared by, and by clicking on this save report, the report will be saved. Multiple times we can edit before the verification if needed by clicking on this green edit button. Multiple times we can edit. Next is observation verification. Also, verifier have the rights. They can change the details. If they want to edit anything, they will be able to edit. Report verified by, and then we can click on the verify so that the report will be verified. We can take the observation report print. You can see that in this report, UHID, the patient age, name, patient type, test that we have ordered, referred department, referred by, study date, study number, and the findings, report prepared by, report verified by. Also, we have imaging MIS where we can see the MIS report. So this is the entire process of radiology information system. If there is any doubt or any query with any participants, they can ask.
ఏమన్నా డౌట్స్ ఉంటే అడగండి. అనంతపూర్ ఇంకేమన్నా డౌట్స్ ఉంటే అడగండి.
సార్
చెప్పండి
సార్. అనంతపురం జీజీహెచ్ నుంచి సార్, కొంతమంది ఇక్కడ ఎక్స్రే ఇమేజ్ ని అటాచ్ చేయొచ్చు అని అడుగుతున్నారు.
ఓకే Rahul, what they are asking whether we can fix image here itself, like that they are asking.
Sir, actually voice is not coming clear. Can you please repeat?
One minute. Anantapur GGH, Anantapur, what they are asking whether we can fix image here, whether we incorporate the image, like that they are asking for X-ray image.
Okay. No, we are not capturing any image.
ఇక్కడ ఇమేజ్ ఏం క్యాప్చర్ చేయటం అనేది ఓన్లీ అక్కడ డీటెయిల్స్ మాత్రమే కలెక్ట్ చేసి ఆ డీటెయిల్స్ ని చూపిస్తున్నారు. ఓన్లీ రిపోర్ట్ పార్టే చూపిస్తున్నారు ఇక్కడ.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
ఓకే ఓకే రాహుల్, కంటిన్యూ రాహుల్.
So I think, sir, we have completed the lab and the radiology. So is there pharmacist also?
Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Sir, I have small doubt, sir.
Yes, yes, please. Go ahead.
Sir, this is Anjani Kumar, radiographer from District Hospital, Machilipatnam, sir. Sir, we have small doubt. Actually, the reporting data should be maintained in this e-hospital, sir. But what about the X-ray images? Sir, X-ray images are playing more important to our orthopedicians and the general medical practitioners, sir. They are asking repeatedly this question, sir.
For the X-ray.
Yes, sir.
So, sir, as of now, we have not capturing any X-ray details.
Actually, sir, we should know about the X-ray format which we should upload it, sir. Either it is JPG format or PDF. And once
Yes,
again, I'm
yes,
asking,
in
sir.
clinic module, we have uh, a link to upload the document
Okay, sir.
in a PDF format or a JPG format or JPEG format.
Okay,
So
sir.
there is also a restriction. So only
Sir,
I
what
think
about the
up to 2
sir,
MB only they can upload.
sir? What about the X-ray images, sir? The orthopedicians and general surgeons, they are asking, is there anything possible to upload the JPG format X-rays also, sir?
అట్ ప్రెసెంట్ అయితే ఎక్స్రే ఇది ఇమేజెస్ అప్లోడ్ చేయడానికి ఆప్షన్ లేదండి. ప్రెసెంట్ అయితే లేదు. ఫ్యూచర్లో
Sir.
ఇన్కార్పొరేట్ చేయొచ్చు.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Sir, pharmacist is also available.
ఫార్మసిస్ట్ కూడా ఉన్నారు కదండి.
ఉన్నారు సార్, ఫార్మసిస్ట్ కూడా attend.
ఓకే ఓకే. Pharmacist also available.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. So let me start with the pharmacy module. So in the pharmacy counter, we have two links. One is pharmacy issue, and second is issue by online prescription. So by using pharmacy issue, the pharmacist can issue the medicines if patient is coming with the paper prescribed medicine. If the patient is coming with that paper, so that the pharmacist can enter the UHID of the patient. First, pharmacist have to select the store and can enter the UHID of the patient. And by clicking on the submit button, by selecting the patient, you can select the category, and by clicking on the all medicine list, the all medicine list will be appear. Now the pharmacist can check the paper, and according to the paper prescribed medicine they can issue. Quantity, multiple medicine they can select. So for the discipline we can see the different batch number is available. So we can select any of one, and now we can issue the medicine by clicking on the next and proceed. Also one receipt number will be generated. So this is the process of offline medicine issue to the patient, and second is issue by online prescription. So if patient is getting medicine in the clinic, so that automatically by entering the UHID and by clicking on the show patient details, automatically the medicine details will be appear. Let me show you how we can do the issue by online prescription. So let me give any medicine in the clinic to this patient. Suppose I am a doctor and I am prescribing medicine paracetamol in the clinic to this patient. Now this medicine paracetamol new tablet will be uh, now it will be available in the issue by online prescriptions. So now the pharmacist can enter the UHID of the patient, and by clicking on the show patient details, now we can see whatever medicine has been prescribed by the doctor is coming with the patient UHID and name. By clicking on this hyperlink, so we can see for the paracetamol new tablet, different batch number is available with the expiry date and stock in hand. We can click on the autofill, so that automatically the prescribed details will be filled. Now we can click on the list, and we can click on the next and generate receipt. So by this way, pharmacist can issue the medicine online. Duplicate receipt we can also generate by entering the UHID if needed. We can check the daily account status, we can search the material, we can issue the medicine to the ward, we can select the ward, we can select the category, we can select the medicine, and we can select the batch number, and we can enter the quantity, whatever quantity we want to issue. Similarly, we can issue the medicines in bulk to the patient. So we can select the ward. So whatever patient is admitted in this ward will be available. We can select the multiple patients here. Multiple patient we can select, and we can give the medicine. Add to list, matched, and generate receipt. Also, to add medicines in the stock through offline in the sub store, we can use the offline stock entry that is available in the pharmacy administrator. We can select the category, we can select the subcategory, and we can enter select the material name, we can select the supplier, we can select the manufacturer, we can enter the batch number, expiry date, invoice number, quantity of pack, in each pack the number of quantity, it will automatically calculate 120, purchase order number, and we can click on the accept material so that the stock will be added in the store. So by this way we can do the offline stock entry in the sub store. Similarly, we can do the same thing in the main store to add the medicine in the stock through offline. So we have a link offline stock receipt. We can select the store, main store. We can select the supplier. We can select the entry source like purchase entry, free drug entry, opening balance or replacement or local purchase, invoice number, purchase order number, and next. We can select the category, subcategory, medicine name, pack size, and pack quantity in each packet. So it is automatically calculating. You can see 200. If any free quantity is available, also we can mark. So per pack, the per pack price is 200. So it is automatically calculating the per unit it is 20 rupees. We can also capture the GST. We can enter the remarks if needed, and batch number is also mandatory, so we can enter the remarks batch number. By clicking on the add, expiry date is also mandatory, so we have to select the expiry date. And by clicking on the add, it will be added in the store, main store. So this is the process of offline stock entry in the main store and the sub store. If anyone have any doubt, can ask.
ఏమన్నా డౌట్స్ ఉన్నాయండి? ఫార్మసీ మాడ్యూల్ ఏమన్నా డౌట్స్ ఉన్నాయా? హలో, జీజీహెచ్ నెల్లూరు.
సార్ నో డౌట్ సార్.
ఏలూరు. ఏలూరు, మీ వాయిస్ వినపట్లేదండి.
ఏలూరు వెస్ట్ గోదావరి అండి.
చెప్పండి.
లోకల్ పర్చేస్ జిఎస్టీ అవి కూడా మేము వేయాలండి.
మైక్ దగ్గర పెట్టుకొని మాట్లాడండి, వినపట్టం లేదు అసలుకి.
లోకల్ పర్చేస్ చేసేటప్పుడు జిఎస్టీ కూడా వేయాలండి. హలో హలో,
నా వాయిస్ అసలు వినపట్లేదండి.
సార్ సార్ నర్సీపట్నం ఏరియా నుంచి.
చెప్పండి. 1 by 1 అండి.
సార్ నర్సీపట్నం ఏరియా హాస్పిటల్.
చెప్పండి
సార్. ఇప్పుడు ఆఫ్లైన్ స్టాక్ ఎంట్రీ ఆన్లైన్ స్టాక్ ఎంట్రీ ఏమీ అవ్వదా సార్ దానికి?
ఆన్లైన్ కూడా ఉంటుంది కదండి స్టాక్ ఎంట్రీ.
చెప్పలేదు క్లాస్. అదే అంటే ఇప్పుడు ఈఆర్సీలో డౌన్లోడ్ ఎక్నాలెడ్జ్ చేసుకోవడానికి ఏమి అవ్వదా? ఇప్పుడు సిఎంఎస్ నుంచి సెంట్రల్ మెడిసిన్ స్టోర్ నుంచి తీసుకున్న తర్వాత ఈఆర్సీలో ఎక్నాలెడ్జ్ చేసుకోవడం అలాగ అవ్వదా? ఇది ప్రతిదీ ఎంటర్ చేయాలి ఆఫ్లైన్ లోనే.
అది ఈ ఔషధ ఇంకా ఇన్కార్పొరేట్ చేయలేదండి. చేసిన తర్వాత అది చేసుకోవటానికి ఉంటుంది.
ప్రస్తుతం ఆఫ్లైన్ చేయాలా? అంటే ప్రస్తుతానికి ఆఫ్లైన్ స్టాక్ ఎంట్రీ చేసుకోవాలి. ఓకే సార్, థ్యాంక్ యూ సార్.
ఏలూరు అండి. ఏరియా హాస్పిటల్ ఏలూరు.
సార్ జీజీహెచ్ గుంటూరు సార్. సార్
చెప్పండి
సార్ జీజీహెచ్ గుంటూరు సార్. డౌట్స్ ఏం లేకపోతే ఎగ్జిట్ అవ్వచ్చా సార్?
ఒక్క నిమిషం. హలో రాహుల్.
Sir, yes sir.
At present they didn't have any doubts. Any other modules you have to explain?
I think we have completed. I think we have completed. For the if lab
Okay.
we have completed, radiology we have completed, and the pharmacy. If there is any other participants is available for the ADT, so I can also explain the ADT also if needed.
Okay.
If doctors or nurses also
Okay.
available.
ఎవరైనా డాక్టర్స్ ఎవరైనా అవైలబుల్ ఉంటే చెప్పండి, ఏడిటి మాడ్యూల్ చెప్తారు. హలో డాక్టర్స్ గారు ఎవరైనా ఉంటే ఏడిటి మాడ్యూల్ ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేస్తారండి. ఎవరైనా ఉంటే చెప్పండి.
సార్ అయితే గుంటూరులో ఎవరు లేరు సార్.
ఓకేనండి, ఏడిటి మాడ్యూల్ అయితే ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ ఉంటే డాక్టర్స్ కానీ ఉంటే చెప్తారండి. ఎక్కడ లేకపోతే సెషన్ క్లోజ్ చేద్దాం, ఏమైనా డౌట్స్ లేకపోతే. రెస్పాండ్ అవ్వండి.
సార్ ఏరియా హాస్పిటల్ దాడేపల్లి.
చెప్పండి
సార్ ఏదైనా డౌట్ వస్తే ఫోన్ కాంటాక్ట్ నెంబర్ ఏంటి సార్? ఫార్మసీ మీద
అక్కడ మీకు రోల్అవుట్ మేనేజర్ ఉన్నారండి, రోల్అవుట్ మేనేజర్ కాంటాక్ట్ అవ్వండి.
సరే సార్.
ఓకే అండి.
ఓకే.
Hello, Rahul.
Yes, sir.
No one are responding. They didn't have any doubts, I think. Even doctors are not there.
Okay. So if there is no doubts and no issue, then we can wind up the session. Or if you have any query or any doubt, you can ask.
సెషన్ క్లోజ్ చేస్తున్నారండి. ఇంకేమైనా మీకు ఏమైనా డౌట్స్ ఉంటే చెప్పండి.
సార్ ఏరియా హాస్పిటల్ తాడేపల్లి కూడా సార్.
చెప్పండి
సార్. ఫార్మసీ సార్.
ఫార్మసీయా? ఫార్మసీలో ఎక్కడండి? ఏం డౌట్ ఉంది చెప్పండి
సార్. ఇప్పుడు మేము మెయిన్ స్టోర్లో మన బ్యాలెన్స్ ఉంటుంది కదా సార్, మన డాక్టర్స్కి అది ఎలా కనిపిస్తుంది సార్ మా దగ్గర ఉన్న స్టాకు?
అదే ఆటోమేటిక్ మీరు ఇక్కడ మీకు అడ్మినిస్ట్రేటివ్ మీది ఫార్మసీ అడ్మినిస్ట్రేటివ్ మాడ్యూల్ ఎంటర్ చేయగానే అక్కడ ఆటోమేటిక్గా జస్ట్ మీకు లెటర్స్ టైప్ చేస్తేనే, వర్డ్ టైప్ చేస్తేనే ఆటోమేటిక్గా డేటా వచ్చేస్తుందండి. అక్కడ ప్రిస్క్రిప్షన్లో, జనరల్ ప్రిస్క్రిప్షన్లో జస్ట్ మీకు చూపిస్తాను, ఆగండి ఒక నిమిషం. హలో రాహుల్,
నెక్స్ట్ వన్
ఒక్క నిమిషం అండి చూపండి.
ఓకే సార్.
హలో రాహుల్.
Yes sir, yes sir.
What they are asking now here, if you enter pharmacy, in pharmacy if you enter medicines, there in clinic module, even how doctors can came to know the medicine, like that they are asking that availability, everything,
Generate
and
prescription.
even that medicine how it is coming, like that they are asking
How it is coming. So we have to add all medicines in the stock first. After that it will be reflect in the generate prescription.
Okay ra అదేనండి. మీరు స్టాక్ లో మీరు ఎంటర్
medicines first in the sub store. After that, by selecting the store in the generate prescription by the doctor, all added medicine will be available in the generate prescription.
Okay.
First
and another one.
The first, they have to enter all the medicines.
Okay. Sir, and another one, sir.
Yeah.
చెప్పండి.
Please ask.
ఫస్ట్ ఎక్స్పైరీ ఫస్ట్ గో సార్. ఆ థియరీ ఉంది కదా సార్, ఎఫ్ఓఎఫ్. అది డాక్టర్స్కి ఎలా కనిపిస్తుంది సార్? సిస్టంలో డాక్టర్స్ ఎలా ఫైండ్ అవుట్ చేయగలరు? ఎఫ్ఓఎఫ్
అదేనండి, మీరు మాస్టర్స్ ఎంటర్ చేసిన తర్వాత అక్కడ డాక్టర్ జనరేట్ ప్రిస్క్రిప్షన్ అప్పుడు తనకు కావాల్సిన మెడిసిన్ మీరు తను జస్ట్ టైప్ చేస్తారు. జస్ట్ ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ పారాసెటమాల్ ఉంది, పిఏఆర్ఏఎన్ కొట్టంగానే డేటా మొత్తం ఫెచ్ అవుతుంది. అక్కడ ముందు మీరు డేటా ఎంటర్ చేయాలి. ఫార్మసీ అడ్మినిస్ట్రేటర్ లో దాంట్లో మీరు ఎంటర్ చేస్తే అది డాక్టర్స్ మాడ్యూల్, క్లినిక్ మాడ్యూల్ ఆటోమేటిక్ జనరేట్ ప్రిస్క్రిప్షన్ లో వస్తుంది. ఇది జస్ట్ వర్డ్ టైప్ చేసిన 3-4 లెటర్స్ టైప్ చేసిన ఆటోమేటిక్ గా డేటా చూపిస్తుంది. దాంట్లో సెలెక్ట్ చేసుకోవటమే. ఇన్ కేసు డ్రగ్ లేదంటే అక్కడ డ్రగ్ లేదంటే అది డాక్టర్ తనకు చెప్తే మీరు యాడ్ చేసుకోవచ్చు. అది
ఓకే సార్. సరే, థ్యాంక్ యూ సార్.
డ్రగ్ అవైలబుల్ స్టోర్ లో అవైలబుల్ ఉందా లేదో కూడా డాక్టర్ అక్కడ కార్నర్ లో రైట్ సైడ్ కార్నర్ లో ఉంటుంది ఆప్షన్, తను అక్కడ చూసుకోవచ్చు.
ఓకే, రైట్ సార్, ఐ కెన్ అండర్స్టాండ్.
ఓకే,
థ్యాంక్ యూ సార్.
ఓకే, ఇంకేమైనా డౌట్స్ ఉన్నాయండి? ఇంకేమైనా డౌట్స్ ఉంటే చెప్పండి, లేకపోతే సెషన్ క్లోజ్ చేద్దాం. ఇంకోటి, మీకు ఏమన్నా ప్రాబ్లమ్స్, ఏమన్నా డౌట్స్ కానీ ఉంటే అక్కడ రోల్అవుట్ మేనేజర్స్ని కాంటాక్ట్ అవ్వండి. వాళ్ళు మీకు ప్రాబ్లం రిజాల్వ్ చేయడానికి ట్రై చేస్తారు. లేక వాళ్ళకి తెలియకపోతే ఇక్కడికి ఎస్కలేట్ చేస్తారు. ఇక్కడ మీ ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ మీకు రిజాల్వ్ చేస్తాం. ఓకే అండి, సెషన్ క్లోజ్ చేసేదా ఇంకా? Hello, Rahul?
Yes, sir.
Now they didn't have any doubts. I think we can close the session.
Sir, thank you, sir.
Srikakulam? ఏమైనా డౌట్స్ ఉంటే చెప్పండి.
So I think there is no doubt. So we can wind up the session.
సరే అండి, ఇంకా ఏం డౌట్స్ లేకపోతే క్లోజ్ చేస్తున్నాము. థ్యాంక్స్ అండి పార్టిసిపేట్ చేసినందుకు మీరందరికీ. థ్యాంక్ యూ వెరీ మచ్. అండ్ రాహుల్, థ్యాంక్ యూ వెరీ మచ్ రాహుల్.
Thank you, sir.
For giving wonderful session. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Now we are closing, Rahul.